This is what's the lady name used to be over the YWCA?
Miss Jackson.
Miss Jackson.
Yeah.
She wrote something I'm going to try to read to you because I got it highlighted here. And I'll start from here. He said, we challenge you to continue to eradicate the last vestige of racial injustice in the nation, which has forever been the black person burden and the white person's shame. From here on, make sure that you remember 5 things. He started off with the Montgomery boycott in Montgomery, Alabama. And that was in 1956. And from that boycott came let's make sure I get it right, public transportation. They changed the rule how people can ride public. Black didn't have to get on the back and white get on the front. And if a seat become not available, the black has to be the first one to get up so white can sit down. The second thing is the March on Washington. Everybody know I have a green speech. And with that came the institutional racism that was so prominent at that time. And everyone should have heard it. You heard about Bloody Sunday in Selma, Alabama. And all those kids got beat and on the bridge, trying to cross that bridge going to Montgomery, Alabama. From that came the Voting Rights Act. And then the next one was the passage of the Fair Housing Act of 1968. I think we all need to know a little about that, and we should always try to remember that. And then the passage of the Martin Luther King birthday. Those are the 5 main things that Ms. Jackson said that you should remember. When you talk about Martin Luther King, you should remember those things, and after remembering those things, in order to keep it continued, you as a person should make sure that anytime you think about that, make sure you talk to someone to register and vote. Not how to vote, but to vote. You vote your own conscience, but at least make sure they are citizenship and they vote. Too many people die in the streets, walking, talking, and trying to do boycotting at the buses and at the station. By the way, I went to school in Alabama. I went to school in Montgomery, Alabama, Alabama State College. Ralph Abernathy went to Alabama State College, but he graduated a year before I did. And Dexter Avenue Baptist Church is where Dr. King got started. But he got started there 5 years after I graduated. But I was in the military then, but I was keep following him. But I'll try to answer any question you have because I know time running out. And I know you got a short time to do all this work. And I want to thank all of you for trying to do your piece. It needs to be done, but it started with you. Thank you. Any questions? If I can answer it, I'll answer it. If not, I'll try to find an answer for you.
Do you still keep in contact with his family or any of his?
No, I met Mrs. King. We were in the workshop together. And she by herself is quite a lady. But I haven't met with them not lately. No. Question? Yes, ma'am.
I just, I'm 54 and I was like oblivious to this when I was even your age. I read about it, but I didn't really understand how important this was going to be in our history. Did you have a sense when you were, seeing these people come through town and hearing these discussions of what was at stake?
No. Because when King came here and they sat down and started talking about what the next place they want to do, what they want to do, I didn't have any least idea because at the time I was in the military. I went in '51, And only when I come back home, you didn't know here what's going on and that kind of stuff. And I happened to see him when I was in Arizona. But after listening to my daddy and listening to Mama and my sister, I got a good feel for the man. And when I saw him at County Hall, I mean, but I didn't know that it come to the point that all of the civil rights movement almost got started here on Jones Island.
Yeah.
Oh, 'cause when they left Montgomery, Alabama, they had, all of them came down here to find out how people here were doing things. And Bernice Robinson, who was a teacher here, or my sister from Baltimore, or Mrs. Brewer from Eddystone, they were the people. That's why when Martin Luther King was dead and got his Nobel Peace Prize, he took Miss Septima Clark with him. She went with him.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
The restoration of the old Progressive Club back to a functioning community center, what kind of effect do you see that having on the local community? Do you think it would be a major...
We hope it will be a major...
what would you have planned to do there, and how do you see it affecting the community?
We've got some plans now to make the front part of it with some artifacts from the old days, and something like a museum. The center part trying to stay up with what is happening today and try to teach people living skills, and also try to do some of the stuff with computers. And the back part where we had the rooms, we still will try to fix it up so that people can do private studies and private research if necessary on some of those areas that you wouldn't find in any one textbook. Sometimes it may be a place back there that you can go back and kind of look for it.
Would it be kind of an archival resource for the period?
Yeah, for that period.
Right.
And maybe what's coming ahead too. You can't look back all the
That's
time.
right.
Yes, ma'am.
When you came back from the war, what was it that kind of struck you about the movement? Because it hadn't really started when you left, had it? Or
No, I left in '51. Before anyone knew it. I went into service right after I graduated from college. And after time in the service, I came back in '70 after 20 years. King was dead at the time by 3 years. By the way, my daddy died in '72. But between that time, Rural Mission started in '69. From '69, '70, '71, '72. Those areas was almost like a transitional period for everybody. Trying to get over the death of Kennedy, the death of Martin Luther King, and the death of the other Kennedy. People were in an uproar a little, but at least the dream was still there. But the dream was not the thing that people should remember King by. It's the action and the things that he was trying to say in the dream that can make it become a reality. We got to do that. If we don't do nothing else, we got to do those things. Did I answer your question? Anything else?